I'm looking for the words on this week's Give Voice to Your Vision. We're going to stop the spinning wheel. We're going to get real, and it is clarity you'll feel. I'm going to share some Jedi moves, some tricky truths, and real tools you can use. So I hope you'll join me for consistent clarity, and your marketing will be set free. All right, hi there, welcome to Give Voice to Your Vision. Today we're talking about confidence, and I'm going to share the single most powerful way to transcend all shyness, withholding, uncertainty, self-doubt, knocking knees, dry mouth, closed throat. I already said self-doubt. When you are sharing your message with the world. There are a lot of moving parts to it, and I'm not gonna, I'm always shooting straight. I'm always gonna tell it to you straight, but there is one incredibly powerful way to transform how you feel talking about what your work, what you do, what you're here to share with the world, talking about what you do. That's what it is, not what you work. All right, so that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about why it is so different in front of people, and I'll talk a little bit about why it's different on lives on Facebook or elsewhere, or on recorded videos, and why it's different in front of people. And for some people, it's even different hitting send on an email or making a social media post. Let's talk a little bit about that and what compromises your confidence. One of the big things that compromises our confidence, and the single best way to change that, transform that experience. Because when you transform your experience talking about what you do, whether it's, hi, what do you do? Or standing up at a networking group to do your 30-second commercial, or making a pitch in front of 100 people, whenever it is, that compromise, when your confidence gets compromised around that, I just totally lost my train of thought. My head exploded with a bunch of ideas. So that's okay. We're going to talk about the number one way to transform that experience, because when you transform, change how you feel while you are sharing about what you do, your audience, whether it's 1 or 1,000, feels it. They feel the difference. So much happens when we're communicating energetically. So much of your presence, your being, communicates what you're here to bring through. And so when you can feel calm and enthusiastic and excited and connected, then your audience will have their own authentic experience, their own experience of you. And there are so many templates and systems and formulas and blueprints, oh my, on how to do that. And you got to find ones that work for you. They're great, but then it does come down to you, your presence and how you say it. So let's dive in. Hi, if you're here, give me hearts and loves. Thank you for those hearts and little thumbs ups. Makes it feel so good over here alone in my office with my camera. But I can see you there, right? So let's talk first about how it's always so different in front of people. Here's how I look at it. Have you ever heard of the Heisenberg principle? The Heisenberg principle, that molecules behave differently under observation. Now, you can go over to YouTube and geek out with me on Dr. Quantum videos, and he'll talk to you about atoms and molecules and the slit test, and how when even a camera is watching those molecules, they do different things. So your body knows when you are being watched, or when you think you're being watched, right? So one of the things that happens for those of us going on a live or going on video at all is we kind of go into like broadcast TV land. Millions of people could be watching me. Hey girl, can't wait to see you. We're gonna have your favorite weather. Hey Michelle. So your molecules, your body knows when it's being observed. And so, you know, fear of public speaking is one of the biggest fears, even above like death and divorce, I think. It's a real thing, and there's a reason why. We do know our cells, our being can feel when we are being watched. And so it is actually very different in front of people. We feel different in front of people. And a lot of times we want to just try and skip over that, or we leap right to, what's wrong with me? I need to buck up. I've got to conquer this fear. It shouldn't be like this, right? It shouldn't feel different. I should just be, I love what I do. I'm really good at what I do. Why can't I be like that in front of other people? So the first thing to know is that your whole being, your spirit, your physical body, your mental body, the body of your thoughts and all of your fears and confidences and projections, everything you think, your emotions, the body of your emotions, the body of your creativity, your spirit, your enthusiasm, it knows when it's being watched and it reacts, okay? So we don't want to just make that all wrong and try and get over it. We want to just know that that is true. And then we are in reality, we are present to what is, and we have many, many different performance tools that can help to navigate those things. I'm going to share a couple of the big ones with you today in our next point. So why is it so different in front of people? Because your whole being, physical, mental, emotional, spirit being, knows it's being watched, and the stakes go up, okay? The stakes go up. That's actually a good thing, but if it keeps you silent, choked, stuck, confused, forgetting the words, racing ahead, whatever it does, it can feel uncomfortable, okay? So it's so different in front of people because your whole being knows it, all right? Our next point is the thing that compromises confidence, whether you're online, whether you're sending emails, whether you're thinking about playing to a broader global audience by being online, or whether you're recording a video for your community or your list, or whether you're writing a book or an email, I think I said that already, or whether you're going live to your Facebook community or to your Facebook friends, wherever you're doing it, right? So what compromises, this thing that compromises confidence so much, it boils down to three very, very human fears. Okay, I hope I can remember them all. I just named them three. I know that there are three that I talk about all the time, so wish me luck. All right, the first is fear of not being good enough or not being ready. Even if in our minds we know that we know stuff and that people have been helped, we can still have this maybe irrational fear of it not being good enough or I'm not ready, okay? And that, I'm going to tie that together with the reason why that undermines our confidence, that these three fears go together, okay? So I don't have notes today. I'm all over the map. I'm so excited. I'm creating this amazing event for you guys. And so my head is like exploding with ideas. I've been channeling so much great content stuff. So focus, Panda. All right. The three fears. Thank you, Panda. The three fears that stop us are this fear of not being good enough, or I'm not ready. I'm not ready. The fear of being judged, okay? Sometimes we are judged. People are out there looking at us, they're commenting us, what will they think? It doesn't feel good. That's a true thing, right? It doesn't feel good. So we're fear of being judged, we're fear of not being good enough, fear of not being, or good enough and / I'm not ready kind of go together for me. And then many, many, many of us have this deep fear of, or feeling of unworthiness. And it may be something that you're aware of, it may be something that you're not aware of, but those fears dramatically impact your confidence. If you're struggling with confidence, which is also, for me, not more than just like an intellectual idea, it can be a physically debilitating thing, and it certainly puts this veil of energy between you and your audience, whether they're an audience on emails or an audience on a Facebook Live or on a stage live in front of people. So there's this veil that can come over. Right. Hi, you guys. Hi, Susan. I'm so glad you're here. Hi, Patricia. Welcome. Say hi, hearts, thumbs up, comments. If you have questions, please answer them. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, say, oh yeah, in the comments, and spell that any way you want. All right. So we have these three fears: this fear of not being good enough, this fear or / not ready. I'm not ready yet. This fear of being judged. right? The feeling that people will judge me. And that comes in all kinds of little subtle different voices, like they're gonna not like the way I look, they're gonna think that somebody already said it better, they're gonna say, who am I to think, blah, blah, blah. Who am I to step up and to say that I'm gonna help people, right? Whatever it is. And then that last fear is that worthiness. Many of us struggle with worthiness. Now I'm gonna tell you that those three fears often come through loud and clear for people who are bringing their big idea through, the thing they most desire to do. For many people, like it might be a creative gift or a service or a healing gift, a message for the world. And I'm surrounded by people who are creating messages to uplift and transform. That is the energy I put out. That is the people I want to be with. And I have them virtually all over the world. And my life is inundated with people who are singing my songs. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing. There are so many people that are finally really understanding that we cannot silence our voices anymore. And they're ready to walk through whatever is required of them in order to share their message in the biggest possible way. And that is so exciting, right? That is so exciting. But many of us who finally are like, I am going to do this thing. I feel called. It has to come through me. They know this nagging big idea or calling has been coming back again and again and again and again, and it's not going to go away. And they are ready to finally break free of whatever is holding them back, or break through the noise if they feel like they've been trying but they can't get any traction. They want to do whatever it takes to finally give voice to their vision. That is the name of this weekly show. That is why I call it that. That's why I have a whole program called Give Voice to Your Vision, because it's a thing. And many of those people who feel called, who want to bring this thing through, also can have no problem at all selling or promoting or sharing other people's stuff. But when it comes to their thing, that close thing that's so personal to their heart that they really long to do or to bring through, it feels absolutely disorienting and baffling and terrifying and overwhelming and vulnerable because it's so close to home, right? And that's when the body betrayal can slip in for people who are otherwise confident and feel great. Just had to tap in and talk about to that point, because so many people that I work with come from that place. Like, I can sell to 10,000 people and promote and have no problem, or I can go do a Broadway show and it's no problem. But when I talk about this amazing healing gift, or my journey healing my gut, or my energetic gifts of intuition that I can help people heal with, forget about it. No, right? It's so different in front of people. And when it's personal, when it's that spirit calling, creative passion, voice idea that's coming through you, it is scary, or it is vulnerable. Okay, I love to change scary into vulnerable. Your vulnerability is your strength, and it's actually the thing that helps you to connect and communicate. And but it feels so, it can feel so overwhelming or so debilitating for some, right? So it's so different in front of people because it's different in front of people. Your body knows, your whole being knows, your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, psychic, creative being knows that it's being watched, and the stakes go up. That's a good thing, but we want to have tools in order to navigate it if it's debilitating, right? And eventually move through. So what compromises your confidence? Okay, we're going to talk about this now. What compromises your confidence? I've talked about a lot of the physiology that goes on and the things that can happen in our mind and our body around being visible, those three fears that can come up. And so here's what I think amplifies those three fears instead of amplifying your gift, your vision, your message, your voice, all right? And that is based on what you pay attention to, okay? So what I just said, we have these fears, these compromise our confidence. This is the what happens when they get compromised, right? We have all these fears. They boil down to those categories that I've already talked about. And then we feel tongue-tied, nervous, not good enough, confused, baffled, the body betrayal stuff, right? So what is that? You know, we can amplify those fears and those doubts. Our body can take over, or we can amplify our message, right? That's what we want to do. We want to amplify our message. So how do we do that? The one thing that compromises our confidence is really, all those things fit into this category, when we're focused on ourselves. Am I good enough? Do they get it? Do they want to hear this? Do they appreciate it? Am I breaking through? What if they're judging me? What if I'm not good enough? What if they're laughing at me? What if I look stupid? What if I have spinach in my teeth? Right? Whatever it is, and I'm making light of it because for some people it can be really painful and very deep. But that's the crux of it. And we're focused on ourselves. We're focusing on what people might think of us, what people might say about us, what people might do to us, how it will reflect on our brand or our business. Thank you for those hearts. Mwah. Love you back, love you back. And we're not focused on the thing that is more important. So if you want to, focus on something different, because as we know from the law of attraction, what we focus on, and I actually knew this before I ever heard of law of attraction from a book that talked about the magic magnifying mind, what we focus on expands. And when we are riddled with that self-centered fear, it is brutal. It is a brutal, abusive dictator. And we can't break free. So I'm going to help you. If that ever happens to you, or it has happened for you in the past, right? The confidence is compromised when that fear or those voices are so focused on whether or not we're going to be judged, or we're not going to be good enough, or people are going to get it, or people are going to hear us, or are we bothering people, all that stuff, instead of something else. So here's the other thing that you can focus on instead. And then you will be, instead of flexing your fear, worthiness, I'm not good enough, I'm not ready muscle, you're going to flex your message muscle, okay? That thing that you're here to bring through. I'm demonstrating. Haven't done any push-ups lately, a few planks here and there. You're demonstrating, you're building that muscle of my message matters, my voice matters. And everybody else may be saying it their way, but nobody's going to say it your way. And you're willing to risk a little bit of judgment, or some other, hater going to hate, right? On behalf of your message. And here's how you do it. Here's what you focus on instead, okay? You focus on serving even one person. If even one person will read that email or that social media post, or watch that live, or watch that video, or read that book, or whatever other platform you're on, right? If even one person can be helped, you will show up. You will do it for them. And you will focus on serving instead of you, right? Now, I don't mean that you're like a lot of us are afraid of being some narcissistic, like, oh, I'm so vain. People are going to think I'm vain if I'm confident, right? Don't tell me you haven't felt that. So many of us, especially women, but I think it's for everybody, right? Like, if I'm confident, if I go for it, then I will be judged, right? And you might, right? You might, and it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. I'm not minimizing that, but I'm saying that's not what we're focusing on. If one person could be helped, you will help them. That's it, all right? Everything else from there is practice, logistics, getting support, getting, guidance around your messaging, hiring, people to help you keep showing up, work out the details, work out the technology, work out the platforms, work out the strategy. All that stuff can be done if you're committed that you will serve one person, if even one person can be helped. That is how you build an audience. That is how you build a platform, okay? So we're going to get to that, the number one way to change your confidence, okay? Right? The number one way to transform your confidence when it comes to giving voice to your vision, giving voice to that thing that you're here to bring through. And you know what? You may be here to bring through this thing, and you may bring it through, and it could change, but that's okay. All right? That's okay too, right? We can think, is it this thing? Is it that thing? Is it this thing? And then we don't take action. So here's the thing. The one thing that will most powerfully, most quickly, and most deeply transform your confidence, going big, playing all in, sharing your unique gift, message, creativity, voice with the world in the biggest possible way. And that is to actually say it out loud in front of people with support, okay? To actually not wait until it's perfect and ready, not wait until you feel like it's perfect and ready, but to stand and deliver your whole heart with all the vulnerability, with all the uncertainty, before you're sure it's good enough, from your heart in a desire to serve, stand and deliver that message live in a room with other people, especially when you are being held in a container that sees your greatness better than you do, okay? You want to have a champion, not a critic. We were just talking about this on the What to Say program. We had our third call of 3 today before the big event coming up on Sunday. And we were just talking about, oh my God, I just said that word event and everything flew out of my head again. What we talked about so many great things. Anyway, I don't remember, but the power of being in the room. Oh, it was confidence and champions and critics. So a lot of us feel like we need to have somebody who's going to like put the polishing finishes, the final touches, the polish, the finish, get it perfect, tie it all up with a bow, have it feel like it's, you know, like I used to want to have it feel it being working on the stage or finally sharing my message or whatever, all the different it's that I've had in my life, right? I used to think that I wanted to have it all wrapped up, ready to go, and then I would, you know, be able to share it. And I couldn't get out the door. So I used to think that I needed somebody to like, I still do a little bit sometimes. I want to have somebody, because I think that there's a real common need for collaboration and creative energy sharing, right? We need that. But I used to feel like I sought out people who would critique me. It's entrenched in fine arts everywhere. And I think it's entrenched in our culture in so many ways. We need somebody to tweak us and make us better. It's like a fight against what we're afraid of, mediocrity in some ways. Like I have to be the absolute best right out of the gate or I'm not going to play. That was me for sure. So we feel like, or we're told that we need to like have somebody help us get good enough. We need to get better. And so we tend to seek out critics, people who will critique us and, you know, have us stand a little bit this way or have us stand a little bit that way. And we think that's what we need. We're trying to be safe. We're trying to avoid this judgment that could come at us, or God forbid, we fumble with our words, or we make a mistake, or we forget something, or we fall down on our face once or twice, right? It feels like we could die from that die of shame. There's a reason why we have that phrase, right? So we think that we need somebody to criticize us or to critique us and to help us get better. Never in my life has somebody who has critiqued me made me feel better, and it has not made me move forward. It has actually dampened and sometimes deadened completely my desire to do anything in that direction, especially for me around performing arts, especially for me around singing. Every voice lesson I had, I was like silenced by. I couldn't do it right. I couldn't hear properly, right? Because I was looking for what I was doing wrong instead of what I was doing right. So beautiful, having collaboration, having feedback, getting better, improving on our best is great. But when we seek out the critic, instead of finding someone who can champion us, someone who can see things that we're missing, who has tools and skill set that we may not have yet, or, you know, every great performance has a great director, right? Meryl Streep doesn't just drop in automatically and get that brilliant, right? Somebody set up the shot. Somebody talked to her a little bit. Somebody asked her a few questions and helped pull that out of her, right? So finding a champion is a total game changer, because when a champion, I got this from Julia Cameron 25 years ago. She wrote a book called The Artist's Way. If you know, if you've heard of it, great. She's awesome. She talks about this champion and critic. And when you get feedback or support from somebody who is your champion, you will feel in your body, oh yeah, I'm going to try that. It'll feel big and it'll feel good. But when you get critiqued or you have somebody who's a critic, you will feel bad. You will feel like, oh, that's true. I didn't do this. Oh my God, I can't believe I just did that. This is horrible. I'm horrible. I can't do it. Okay? It's just true. Your body knows. Your body knows. Okay? So finding a champion. So whether you've figured out the words yet, or you know your perfect audience, or you have your messaging all dialed in, or even if you do think you have all that, but you still have like that tension or vulnerability, which is actually a good thing. That's how you give goosebumps, in delivering it, or there's some part of you that's still holding back or tentative on it, right? When you stand and deliver in the presence before you feel like you have it all perfect, there is a magic when you're standing in a room full of people, especially when that space is being held in a way that is championing you, your message, your spirit's desire to shine and be big and ultimately to serve, right? I quote Marianne Williamson's quote all the time on, who are we not to be great, right? It is our darkness, it is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be gorgeous, talented, brilliant, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Your message, your voice, this is me now, not her, but your voice, the thing you're here to bring through, matters. And it's just because you want to bring it through, right? You are a spark of the divine, and you have a divine right to self-express. It's actually the secret to your prosperity, the secret to your impact, the secret to your feelings of fulfillment. And as you move through the world in prosperity, in fulfillment, and in service, people will be drawn to you. Just moving through the world, you will change their lives. She says in that quote a little bit later, it is as we are liberated from our fears, our presence automatically liberates others. So the best way, the fastest way, the richest, deepest way to transform your message to the next level of confidence and connection and charisma is to share it out loud in front of people in a room where people are holding you and seeing you and open to your greatness. Okay? And that's what we're going to do at the event this weekend, this next week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We are going to see you and hold you in this greatness. For those of you, I see some of you who are going to be there with me. That's so, so, so exciting. And being witnessed with a champion in a space where other people are willing to be vulnerable and a little bit messy, not have it all figured out and dialed in, but they are willing to give voice to their vision anyway, is an alchemy. If there's nothing else in the world that's like that will transform how you talk about your work, how you share your heart, your vision with the world. There's nothing else that will do it like that, like being in a room with others who have a big message to come through, and they're willing to do whatever it takes to get it out there. They're willing to fly across the country, or the countries as it is. They're willing to, carve out 3 days of their life amid all of our many obligations. They're willing to work on their business instead of just scrambling in their business. And they're willing to do whatever it takes in order to reach as many people as they can, because that one person might be helped. And when you're in a room with people like that, in that kind of creative crucible of transformation, there is a magic, there is an alchemy that happens that is unlike anything else. And it changes the way forever that you will feel about talking about what you do and what you want to bring through in the world. And that goes to your emails, your social media posts, your videos, your live conversation, and to your sales and invitations. And standing and selling on stage, or standing and closing a contract with someone, or, making that big difference in the world, All right, you guys, that is my rant. If anyone here, I'm going to check the chat real quick and just see, thank you for those hearts and loves. Corey, coming over. Oh yeah. Somebody else has said it better. Susan, no one has said it the way you are. Not just for Sunday, Rochelle. Corey's going to get snuggled in with us. Yeah, folks are judging you. Mary's here. Awesome. If you're still here, great to see you, Mary. All right. It is my pleasure to serve you guys in giving voice to your vision in the biggest possible way. Here's the thing. Just saw Susan's comment. Stick with me if you want. Love for you too. Here's the thing about somebody's already said it better. And for those of you who participated in our challenge a couple weeks ago, we did a deep dive on this. No one has your experiences. No one has gone to the same school, had the same teachers, read the same books, done the same training, has the same education, has had the same experiences. No one has had all of the same experiences that you have. okay? And no one has had the same challenges that you've had, the things you've had to overcome, the things you've had to work around or over, under, or through, right? No one has the same combination of challenges. No one has faced them or thought the same things about them. And that gets us to the third thing. No one has your perspective. No one else has had the thoughts and the awarenesses and the realizations that you have had in and through all those experiences and all those challenges, all right? And no one has the same cellular presence, right? No one has the same DNA, right? No one has the same way of putting that all together, right? And no one has the same, you know, your presence is your warmth and your emotion and your heart and your compassion and your way of being, the way that your being feels, right? No one else has that. And no one else has your voice. Okay, and your voice, your transformational message, your voice is a culmination of all of those things. And even if, I was talking on the call today, going on you guys, even if, I was talking on the What to Say call, we just finished that, we're about to finish up that program, and we had our final call today. And, you know, even if, I was saying how there are people out in the world who, if you heard some of our words, you would think maybe we're the same. And there's people who are much bigger than me, and there are people who are not much bigger than me. You know, people who don't have as many followers or as big of an email list or as many sales or as high prices or whatever you want to say, right? And the people, like, so, okay, so if you follow coaching, you know, maybe you know Suzanne Evans, or maybe you know Lisa Sasevich, or maybe you know Ted McGrath. I was talking specifically. They're amazing entrepreneurs. They're helping tons of people give voice to their vision. That's my word, not theirs, right? And I've met lots of people who don't resonate with each one of them, right? I admire and respect all of them, and I've learned from some of them directly. I've shared the stage with most of them. And that means that the message needs to be heard, and that there are people looking for that message. And if you know any of those three people, you know that their energy and personality is very different from mine. And that's the best way I can think of to illustrate that fact, that no one's going to share your message the way you do. No one's tied it all together or had those same experiences as you. And if you don't sing your song, whatever it is, if you don't give voice to that thing that's coming through you, and you dampen it or withhold it or play it small because it just feels so painful or confusing and you don't get the support you need to break through, then that song goes unheard. It is a divine spark that doesn't fully blossom into a tree or a plant or a flower, whatever, right? It is that part of creativity that goes, there's a Martha Graham quote, I'll close with that. She talks about there's a vitality, a life force, a quickening in you. And it's not just in some of you, it's in all of you. And if you don't honor that, then it is a spark of creation that never exists, and it will go unheard for all of time, okay? So, and embolden, encourage, and empower yourself to say that thing that you're here to say by knowing if even one person could be helped, would you do it? And there's one person, no matter how far down the path you've gone, whether you've just taken one step, you can reach behind you and bring that other person with you. Okay? There's one person who's behind you, and maybe you can help them. Okay? All right, guys, that's my rant for the day. I would love to hear your comments and questions. Folks are judging you, whether you're sharing your message or not. That's been my experience, so why not share her gift? Rochelle's going to shine it up at this event. I can't wait to see you and hug you in person. Corey's coming over. Susan, I don't know if you're, oh yeah, you have other things happening, so maybe we'll see you on the live stream. All right, guys, just wanted to check through the chat real quick and see if there were any other comments. Love to you. Give voice to your vision. All right, I'm here to support you and help you. You can always comment and private message me and reach out if you want to know how I can do that for you. Love having you here. Your friends are welcome to join us in this group. And I will see many of those of you who are here live in just a few days. I can't wait. Mwah! Love you. Your voice matters. See you soon.